Hello, it's me, Annalisa. Hi, Ashley. Hi, McKeegan. Mariana. Hello, how is everybody? I'm here. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I had to I sat down. So, okay. First, if anybody's new, which I don't think so, but um, I'm Annalisa, Psychic Medium Spiritualist Reverend, and this is a special free session. And we were in a different room because my mom came to visit, and the day after Christmas, she tested positive for COVID. So she is quarantining in the room that I normally do readings in. So, so we're upstairs in my daughter's room. So I hope everybody's well. It says subscribers only. So if you're not subscribed, and this is really just a big thank you, especially to all of the people who come here regularly, like Mariana and McKeegan and Ashley and Rothka and Devery. Devery, you sent money. I'm not taking money today. It's free. These are free readings. So I'm going to be, when I get done with this, I'll return it to you, just so you know. So because of these readings, I always take 30% of the money that you pay me. And I do it from so I still get PayPal fees. I still pay for those, but I do it from the gross, not the net. I take from the gross profit, the gross amount, and I donate that to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. I wanted to donate it to, there's a food bank in my town. And they buy their food from the food bank. I wanted to donate it directly to them, but they only take credit cards, and I just wanted to pay it through PayPal. So I'll figure that out for next year. I'll probably be donating to them because my daughter's Girl Scout troop, who I'm a leader of, we were doing where we go and fill the bags of food, and I think they fill every week 230, or we think we did 230 bags, something around there, 250 bags of food for families in our community that need food. And so and she said that in September, they're always really low on money. So what I want to do is make a nice donation to them, like September, October. So they have a little extra to purchase for the families in my community. But anyway, so $1,412. That's what we were able to raise. So for all of you that come regularly and show up, Regine, Devery, Ashley, Rothka, Nicole, Mariana, McKeegan, thank you. And Rosemary, hello. Thank you so much to all of you who are regularly showing up and regularly believing me and trusting me and supporting my business so that we can support people in the community, because food scarcity is real. And I don't want to put energy out there the way the economy is, but shit's set up kind of weird, and it's kind of unfair, and people are not getting paid what they deserve, and people are definitely not getting paid a living wage. So even if they're working, they still need a little extra. And if we can do that, that is amazing. So thank you, all of you, because that provides I think I calculated out whatever that is times 3, almost 4,000 meals or over 4,000 meals. So thank you. All right. So, if you're new here, I think Solitude, I don't know if I remember your name. Devery, it's free. This is a freebie. So we're just going to do readings today and have a nice day, and we'll stop whenever, I also have, oh my God, y'all. I hope everybody had a nice Christmas if you celebrate. Hi, Starry Sky. If you don't, I hope you've had a nice few days. Anyway, we also had, and I manifested this, so I want to tell you to this. Manifestation is real. Be careful how you manifest. I inadvertently manifested a mouse infestation in my house. So we live my neighbors across the street, their backyard is a mountain reservation. So it's trees and wildlife and all of that. Oh, you did. Welcome. Well, thank you for coming back. Don't leave me. So I put in for an affirmation manifestation to manifest a tidy house, and with my kids being happy and easily donate, get rid of, clear out, declutter their things. And where there's little mouse poop and stuff, they will happily get rid of things. So we just had my kids had stuff everywhere, and I was always like, come on, we got to clean up. And then I was just exhausted from cleaning up constantly. So I was like, Leave your room the way it is. It's fine as long as the rest of the house is not, whatever. Well, we decluttered fast. So I have my daughter's room, and then I need to just go through and get rid of and donate a few things from my room because every month I always get rid of stuff. Because we are consumers. Anyway, all right. So all I'm saying is be careful how you write things. Okay, let's go. Who wants to ask a question? Let's see, we'll have to figure out how to set an order because usually I do it by payment. So why don't we just, Devery, why don't you go first since you made a payment, but I'm going to go ahead and give it back to you. 6 years here. Thank you. You don't always like what I have to say, but I promise I'll be honest. Sure. Infinity is one. Sure. Yep. I'm gonna have Devery go first. And then we'll because she sent a payment and I feel like, I don't know if she and Solitude. And so if anybody is like watching and they don't realize it's you just have to subscribe. I didn't put a time limit on it, so just subscribe and you can ask questions. This is just a thank you. So instead of saying you have a question, I assume you're here because you have questions. Why don't we do that? Just throw them up there and I'll go through them. It might seem like a little free for all, so you just be patient with me. I'll kind of write down an order. Oh, where's my thing that I want to write on? Here we go. Okay. Oh my God. And I was thinking that they came in through our garage. So my husband will still have to fix that. But they came in through, there's a little tiny hole in my daughter's room. And I didn't even realize that that's what that was. I know it sounds dumb, but I just wasn't thinking anyway. I'm just seeing what you guys are writing. Yeah, go ahead and just post. That's fine, Solitude. And then I'll kind of roll through them. If it gets to be too much and you're and I have to scroll back up or anything crazy, then I'll ask you to slow down and maybe, hi, Tron. Oh, you know what? I'm not playing that game with you, Tron. That's just stupid. So goodbye. This is a thank you, a free thank you to everybody who helped donate throughout the year so we could raise money for the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. And if you're going to come on here and be an a-hole, I'm super okay with blocking you. Like, go find your fun somewhere else. Okay? I'm too old. I'm Gen X. I've been doing this way too long. You won't upset me. You're just an idiot. This is where I'm at this point. Sorry. Yeah, don't post 1,000 times. Post your exactly, Devery. Just post your question one time and I will find you. There's no panic here. This is a nice, easy breezy. Have a nice day before the new year, okay? All right. You posted on top. Devery, why sometimes I have a hard time. Don't refund it because you sent a message with it. Oh, happy 2024, Rosemary. I didn't read your full message. I'm trying to find yours. Devery, I'm having a hard time. I don't know why I keep missing your question. Oh, Devery, will you repost yours, please? I don't know why I can't find it. Oh, should you keep talking to Ricky? Okay, thank you for redoing that. It's so weird. This is like a different energy, and I feel like I need to have like a noisemaker because I have so much noise in the other room. Okay. So I feel like, yeah, it's fine, but I also feel like being more discerning with your energy that you give to him. Um, it just feels like I feel like he plays a little bit of mind games with you, like a little bit of manipulation with time. I don't know why people do this in relationships or when they're getting to know people like, "Oh, I have to wait," and there's just a little bit of game playing, and I just feel like it's not about even, like, the physical, like, time you're spending with him or time you're texting or whatever. It feels like being more discerning about the time where your mind is wandering thinking about the situation. Um, does he have, like, an issue with his front teeth? And I ask that because I just keep seeing, like I just keep feeling an awareness of my front teeth, and so I don't know if it's like I don't know, there's, like, a something with the front teeth. Yeah, yes, he has an issue with his front teeth just because I just looked, because I wanna make sure I'm getting his energy. So I don't feel like he's a bad guy, I just feel like he's yes, with the teeth, okay. So I just feel like he's, a little emotionally immature, like, maybe stunted around, like, 12, 13, 14, which means, like, not as direct in communication as one would like when you're in a relationship and an adult. Um, so it's not like I'm never gonna tell you should, shouldn't, right? Because there's nothing we should or shouldn't do in life, but it feels more like, "Hi, Christina." It feels so much more like, how much frustration do you wanna deal with? And it's sort of like if you understand who somebody is when you're going into the relationship, then it, like, makes it less frustrating or and I don't necessarily see it as a red flag, it's just who he is. Um, I don't I'm gonna just say this because I don't feel like he, like, talks nicely about his mom. That's a red flag to me. So, just again, just, like, the discernment about the energy you give to it necessarily, and that it just feels like n I don't think you're pressuring him, I think energetically there's, like, an idea in your mind of, like, it needs to be this way or that way. And because you've been here a long time, I know a little bit more about your energy than just, like, some random so it feels kinda like, that, like, the poop or get off the pot, like, you don't wanna you're kind of that's your kind of your energy of, like, you don't wanna deal with anybody's stuff, so it just feels like maybe, instead of taking a step back, like, this let's just see who he is as a person, like, let him show himself. But not also, but also go and do other things and, like, focus on other energy and focus maybe even on other people, like other gentlemen. Like, not needing to give so much focus to him is more the feeling of it. I'm gonna leave it like that because 'cause I'm kinda rambling and sort of circling over the same thing. Do I see it going anywhere? I heard no right away. They're showing me something about 6, so I don't know if that's 6 weeks. I don't feel as long as 6 months, but 6 weeks seems a little short. But no, because I think, and here's what I feel will happen is more so that you will, I don't like that angle. This is weird. Okay, I'm just I'm still trying to get used to like whatever. Um, I have the camera flipped on this on YouTube only, and I can't figure out how to fix it. So my thing is that I feel like you will sort of like because you're sitting back more and not so like invested in it energetically, you sort of go, yeah, I don't want to deal with this. That's what I think happens. Hi, GB. I know you're a subscriber because you can't type on here if you're not. So thank you for subscribing. Hold on. I'm gonna just ask your question once and I'll scroll back through. Um, Okay. All right. So Devery, thank you for everything always. I appreciate your support. And um, so thank you. Okay. And then we're just gonna go through the list of who typed. I hope everybody's actually, I'm gonna grab Ashley and Rothka for sure early, only because I know that they're on another continent from me. So they're way ahead in time. It's a lot later there. So I want to get theirs first. Is that okay if everybody understands that? If you happen to be in another part of the world, don't tell me where you're at. I'm happy to accommodate that just because. And Ashley, so yeah, Ashley and Rothka, because Ashley is over in Europe and Rothka is in um, I won't give it away. Another place. Okay. Where are you guys? Okay, can you take one overseas first, please? Yes. Okay, so there. Will I ever hear from Michael again? I've been really missing him lately. I want to reach out, but I'm not sure how that would go or if he'd respond. Um, shoo. I do feel like you'll hear from him again. I don't know that it will go well. It doesn't feel like something that's like I actually feel like what's funny is I feel like he's gonna reach out when he's at a low spot in his life and looking for you to pick him up a little bit. Um, I don't feel like you'll be in a position to entertain his energy at that time. I don't feel like you will end up reaching out to him now. Um, my sense of you're missing him more is about time of year, reminiscing more than it is him, and just feeling a little lonely. Um, I I heard he's not the one, and then I felt your dad say, he's selfish, baby," and, like, giving you a kiss on the head. Um, what's interesting is, like, your dad is sort of making me feel like while, you love him dearly and you have him a little bit of on a pedestal, your dad is sort of, like, saying, like, "Michael and some of the men in particular that you're dating are more like him than he would like for you." Um He says, like, "I didn't have the foresight to really see, um, how I treated women." So, I feel like this is what's interesting is I feel like he treated you really well, but not necessarily your mom. Um, and he says, "I felt like if I treated you well, then you would be fine, but what I didn't have the foresight to see was not treating your mom well, was setting an example." You were debating on asking, well, he came through. "Rathka, you're here?" So, that's what your dad says. So your dad's makes me feel like, you know. And remember, so when our loved ones are over there, they still have opinions similar to humans. So like you can kind of like take it with a grain of salt because they are imperfect beings. Um, guides are a little bit more. Your guides won't tell you what to do. I have to be honest with you. Do I have a time frame when you'll hear from him? It feels about 6 months out. He'll be going through something, and then um, okay. All right, so let me go back up. You know what I'm gonna do? If you guys be patient for just a second so I remember who to look for. I'm just going to write down a quick little list so I know who I'm scrolling back up for, if that's okay. I can't believe, first of all, I think I started this right around my 40th birthday. So this has been over 5 years that I've been here, which is bananas. You would think I would have a million more users but or subscribers, but no, it's because I charge for things and I don't post enough. So I'm going to try and do more stuff. I figured out how to do, I'm going to try and do more meditations and things and affirmations. And, cause I found an easier way to do it where it doesn't look so, where it looks a little more professional, shall we say, and little less in my mom's basement. This is my house though. It's not my mom's, even though I have her quarantining in the basement. What's crazy, so I have 3 daughters, if you don't know. Anyway, I have 3 daughters and they're all gifted. My oldest is funny because she's like, "Oh, they're annoying, like spirit's annoying." My middle is really getting into like manifesting because I'm teaching her about the power of thought and like creating your own reality. And also she has a lot of precognitive dreams, which I also have. And they all see stuff too. But it's really funny though, because she's like, "I had a dream that Nini was going to come visit and she'd have COVID." And then, "Hi, I'm doing readings. What's up?" I know it's weird. I'm in your room. But all they can see is the wall behind me. They don't see anything.
Can they see that?
No, they can't see the rabbits. What you
My
need?
head hurts.
Your head hurts? Can y'all hold on for 2 seconds while I go get her something for her headache? I'll be right back. Okay. No. I'm gonna give you the other one.
Maybe I could also have some chili.
I'll give you the chewy one. April.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That.
Oh, okay. Well, come on out. Okay. Love you, buddy. Thank you for letting me use your room. Okay, sorry. Okay, so forget it. I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, I don't remember. All right, let's figure out a list who's going first. So Ashley, I did. Infinity is 1. I'll do yours next. And then Solitude. Then McKeegan. Brian. All right. Okay. Can you tell me for Infinity is 1, you said, how does my fitness group and specifically G feel about me leaving the group? Can you give me the full first name? I don't need a last name. And then we can always delete that if you want. That's okay. Okay, great. Thank you. And then you can retract that if you want on that part. I try to ask you not to retract too much because then like I made a prediction a while ago about some stuff that was going to happen. Then I was like trying to scan through and go through because I didn't put enough notes on stuff. And no payments are necessary this week. It's a little different, Regine. It's free because it's a thank you. And you just have to be subscribed to my channel. So for anybody who's here, like Allie, I don't remember you. For your new, I normally charge $12 and I donate 30% of that money to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. And this year, because of everybody's paying and the donations, we were able to donate. I was able to donate $1,412, which provides a little over 4,000 meals. So I just wanted to give a thank you back for all of your support and belief and sticking with me and willing to pay for readings and all of that stuff. Okay. Okay. So Infinity's one. So Gavin, how do they feel about you leaving? Let me double check that. Gavin. Okay. So I think for the most part, it's not that they're like, there's not a like, they'll miss you. I think there's some understanding because I do feel like you're leaving for, it just feels like too many scheduling conflicts, too many things going up where it's just becoming too hard for you to participate in it. Gavin may not be exactly who you think Gavin is. I kind of feel like, have you ever seen those dudes that are like, yeah, you can lose weight if you just like, eat less and work out more. That's all it is too. And you're just choosing bad foods. Like those kind of people who are like, don't really understand the intricacies of like just life in general, that like, it's not always just, just that easy. It feels like that. Oh, I know, but I don't know that you've been on here on the lives. Have you been on the lives? That was all. And it's nothing personal. It's just, and also, I do forget like names because when I'm doing readings, I'm a little bit in a different zone. But it's just there's names that I don't. So I was just saying it more like I don't see your name regularly on here. So I was telling you why it's free today and like what the purpose is and all of that stuff. That's all. Please don't be offended. um, so that's what it feels like to me. It's like more like seeing the idea of like stepping away as a cop out rather than like a legitimate, like it's not fitting with my scheduling and stuff. You thought people would want you to leave? I don't get that feeling. It felt more of a disappointment, but like understanding. I don't feel like a wanting you to leave. So a lot of times our own insecurities, um, like, and I watch it with my kids too, really. It's interesting to see the perspective when you're a parent, but like we automatically assume people don't like us or don't want us around because of our own insecurities. You know? But yeah, I don't feel like, "Oh, thank God." I didn't get that at all. It doesn't I also don't feel like we're gonna pine away and, like, not be able to move on without you. It just feels like trying to, like, I can't figure out okay, there. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Nicole and Regine, let me just throw you on the list. I've just got a list. I don't have a posted there. I just have something going kind of so that I make sure I get to everybody that I'm looking for the names and your questions. Hi, Grace. I'm gonna add your name up here too. Got Ashley. Okay. Hi, Amy. Oh, it's been a while. I hope it's not the same Grace you're asking about. Just kidding. I just put Amy F. Sorry, Sky. I gotta add you on here too. Okay. Oh, Julie, hello. It's been a while. And GB, sorry, I'm as I see your name, I'm kind of writing them down. Oh, and Christina, sorry, dear. Okay. I will leave it till one question per person, I think, today, just because there's a few of you on here. And then when we get through those, if you have extras, and we'll do it that way. To be fair. Okay, Solitude, where's your question? Let me find it. When do you see me getting married? Nature of my future spouse? Anything that you get related to my marriage. Guess you want to get married, huh? All right, let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna say this to you really quick because I think this is interesting. Change your screen name. And this is about manifesting. This doesn't mean, oh, this is the thing that's keeping me. But like, I don't think people really realize when they look at their screen name, the energy they put behind it. I don't need to know your name. There's energy behind that, right? It's connected to you. So if you have something called solitude, what does that say to you? To me, that means single, alone. So maybe think about that. That's energy that you're putting out. So if you're putting out energy into the world, about like, I want tranquility and solitude, that's like a lot of aloneness. So put out the energy of like partnership. That is important. Yeah, so change that. Like, I really thought a lot about what I wanted to name my company, like my spiritual friend, because obviously that's not my name. Because well, that also there was somebody with my name that had whatever, but I really thought a lot about it because I thought I wanted to be what like that leads me energetically. So people were like, "Oh, you have like fairy energy." Some of friends that knew me, and I was like, "It's not right. It doesn't fit my business that I like energetically." It well, McKeegan, it doesn't. I don't get like it. That's just different. But solitude is so like it's so out there. There was a restaurant that was called the Forgotten Corner, and let me tell you, it closed really quickly. I'm not kidding. So okay, um, I just think you really think about how you name things. Allie, I need to put you on here too. Um, okay, so so future husband. I have to answer this because Regina, I'm sorry, yours kind of came up, and this is quick. I do feel like it'll be this year. I do feel like it'll be. So you were asking about the man that's coming in. I actually feel like it's there's something specific about September and that time frame, the fall. You might meet him a little bit earlier than that, and maybe the September is like where you sort of like decide to become. Um, I don't want to say monogamous because that's not a exclusive. Exclusive. That's the word I want. Um, I just saw it. It keeps rambling around in my head, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to ignore the other questions as I look for everybody else's. Um, okay, so okay, I need to do this. Solitude. What is your first name? I don't want anything else about you. Just give me your first name because I'm like I need to pull away from that energy. What I think is really interesting is I do feel like there's something connected to water with him because I keep seeing a lot of splashing water. Um, I don't think it's that he's like, a water sign. I mean, you can leave that there as a potential, but I'm not leaning towards that. That doesn't want it. It's not what it feels like. It feels like actually like being on vacation or, but something where there's a lot of like activity and splashing in the water, not drowning. But more so like there might even be like it might even be like a family-friendly resort you're at or something like that. I don't necessarily feel like you're gonna be meeting him through, like, a dating app, but I also feel like you need to put your energy out there with the intention of meeting someone, so that may be getting yourself on a dating app. But I don't necessarily feel like that's how you meet him. I also don't feel like you're meeting him through someone. It really does feel more like a by chance, a happenstance. Okay. Um, no, I'm leaning more towards 2025 to be honest. And I think a lot of that is more so where you're at energetically. He may have kids already. Either that or he works with kids because I see kids around him and that being very important, not even just like, oh, like they seem very important part of his life. And I also feel like he wears like a necklace with a charm on it. And I don't know that it's I want to say it's in like I will say this because I'm not sure what faith it is because I can't fully see. It does feel like it's a gold. It feels like whatever it is, important to him, but he's not like so his faith and spiritual belief is important to him. And while he wears this necklace that might be connected to one religion, he's not religious. Hi, KK, welcome. Someone hang on, I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm just gonna type a letter just because sometimes there gets a heart. You want to know someone you know, not unknown person. Listen, it's not yours because I see a man with chest hair. It's not yours. um, it is just the feeling I get. I'm happy to be wrong. Um, so yeah, I saw it in chest hair, so it's like, I mean, unless you have like a patch, which I hope you don't, because that would just not that there's anything wrong with hair and body hair and not to shame you, but I know like the way society makes women feel about having hair on their body. It's like, which we're all mammals for God's sakes. Um, yeah, that's just my feeling is that yeah, it's not yours. Um, so again, I feel like he's um spiritual, not religious, but might wear something with like a religious connection. And here's the thing, everybody's a stranger until you know them. And I do feel like, so if we want to set this like this energy of connecting with someone and then like being worried, like they're a stranger, I don't know them, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. So start with the affirmations now of I trust myself. I always see red flags and because you can see red flags and ignore them and honor them. And I'm really good at discerning between who's a good person and who's for me and who's not for me kind of thing. Start setting those intentions now and putting that energy out into the universe. When I say manifesting works, I mean manifesting works. I'm not mad about having a mouse infestation right now. I mean, it's a lot of extra work, but like I freaking manifested this on accident, not intentionally, but like so when I'm talking to you guys about it, I do talk about like setting the energy out there because that's what you bring back, right? Not the energy you set out there, but like your belief systems create your reality. And all I'm reading the energy where you're at right now. So when you have these ideas of like it has to be this way, it's like, okay, but then this is what you're going to pull if you get that. If you're like, I have to know them, but what if there's this really great person out there that none of your friends know and you don't know either? So instead of feeling like it has to happen this way, why not just say, but I can just trust myself to see I'm safe, I'm protected. The universe will only bring in the X, Y, and Z. And there may be people that come in that are unsafe, but they'll make you know quickly that they're not for you. Changing your question, do you no problem. Um, so yeah. I do feel like it's more 2025 because the minute you said the 2024, like I heard 2025. Um, And so you know what? Like use 2024 to like fall in love with yourself and like like get really comfortable with your own intuition and connecting. Make sure to click the like. Thank you. Yeah, click the like button. Um you know, where you're getting really comfortable with your own intuition and trusting your own intuition. Remember your intuition is subtle. It's not that like, oh my god, the whole world is falling apart and if I go here then this is going to it is not the scary stuff. Scary stuff is not where you need to go. Um, it's really calm, it's really subtle, sort of like quick, but also like when you start saying the affirmation, I can trust myself, I am trustworthy. I've got a really great intuition about people. You start to see like where you're like, oh, I like, it just sort of starts to fall apart. I know you understand. I tend to like hammer it in. I think from my days of nursing, where I was like so worried about sending somebody home if they didn't understand the information because, it's like a life and death kind of thing. So I tend to hammer things in. So if you're just patient with that, that's great. And okay, and I'm going to tell you a real quick story, and then I'm going to go keep answering questions. So for those of you who aren't here all the time, I talk a lot, but I'll answer all your questions. I promise. Um, w- I have a friend who she's a woman who I used to work with, and she's like I just adore her. She's a fabulous person. She's come up here on vacation with her family. We've gotten together, and like it's literally like no time has passed. And years ago now, I don't know, gosh, was this like maybe 10 or 12 years ago? Might have been more. She was pregnant, and I just randomly out of nowhere was like, "I'm gonna check on her." And I think it was, like, the next day, she was, like, 20 weeks pregnant. I was like, "Hey, how are you doing? How's your pregnancy?" And, like, the next day, she ended up miscarrying, and she was very far along. She went into early labor, and they were not able to stop it. And then last week, we were like, I saw something she posted on Instagram, and I was messaging about it, and I was like, "Oh." It was something one of her kids wanted, and I was like, "Oh, don't get that, that's not good for their skin." And, and she was like, "Oh, how are your kids?" Like, she sent me a couple pictures of her family, and I was like, "Oh," and I got her dad has passed away, and I got a picture of him in my head, and I was like, "Hey, how's your mom doing?" Because it was like, ask about her mom. She's like, "Thank God she's fine." And I was like, and I didn't respond right away, and the next day I went in to respond, but I didn't get to it right in the morning because it was just everything was a little crazy and chaotic, and she asked me before I got to respond, she's like, "Hey," she said, "Hey, was there a feeling you got about something?" I was like, "No, I just saw your dad in my head and I felt like I should ask about how your mom is doing because I know you're close." And her mom had had a massive aneurysm and she ended up passing. They were going to put her on comfort care. So, like, sometimes your intuition doesn't tell you exactly what it is, but if you just honor it, there's a reason for it. It was a little upsetting to me, to be honest with you. That one was like, maybe I was just like, I'm not asking you randomly about your family anymore because, like, she's like, no, no, we believe that like everybody goes when they're supposed to, and she's like, I'm just glad to know my mom wasn't alone. I was like, absolutely not. Anyway, but point being, just it's very subtle. It doesn't always scream at you. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let me get my list again. Let me go back on here. So that was solitude. McKeegan, what's your question? And then let me find your question and then add and go to it. And then um way back up here. Actually, my world. Oh, what's my love life looking for in 2024? I hear y'all are all wanting to fall in love. um they're bringing me to 2028, so I'm like trying to get them to back up because I'm like, that's a long time. I get it. So don't like I'm like, okay, back up. That's why I'm like, so 2026, I heard that song, Feel Like Making Love. I don't know who the band is. And I'm like, okay, great. Because 2026, 2027, I don't see anything. 2028 feels very significant. 2024 feels like dating a little bit here and there, but not really finding anybody serious. And they said a little bit of a desert, which is not great. But that's also not bad. It means being more, first of all, I don't feel like you're fully putting yourself out there until later in the year. Um, and it still feels like a lot of hesitance, a lot of hesitating, a lot of dipping the toe in the water, like um not having had great experience. Um and it doesn't even just feel like in love, right? There's like a lot of like other relationship stuff that kind of comes up and just really feeling like not wanting to fully tie in and get connected, but like also wanting to. Um But then I heard he's happy. So it's like, you're happy. It doesn't feel like I'm an unhappy person. I'm just like, brooding away about how unfair life is. It just feels like not fully there yet. I'm just trying to look at 2025 because I'm like, why aren't you showing me much there? 2026 is funny to me because I feel like that's the year where it's really light and kind of fun and easy. So I feel like I'm in a relationship there in 2026. 2025 is interesting. It's like it's rocky, it's bumpy, it's, maybe that's where you're really starting to get into the dating pool. Yeah, that's it. It's where you're starting to get in the dating pool, and it's just like, it's rough out there. Um, but I also feel like having a sense of humor about it instead of, like, feeling like, salty about it. Like, "Look, I have mice in my house, I have a sense of humor about it because it's like, um, nothing I can do about it except for, like, um, call an exterminator and declutter and all of that stuff, but it's like I also manifested this unintentionally. I did. So it's like, well, I'm a powerful being. I'm gonna like take all of that and own up to it. And then like the beauty of like how easy it is to manifest things, even if you didn't think it was. Um, yeah. So I know it's not what you want to hear. Hang on, let me look down and see what you wrote. Hi, Julia. I'm very sure I want of what I want in a relationship. So I don't like to commit if I don't feel anything special there. Energy is so sensitive. I wouldn't waste my time on that. I think that's like fair enough to say that, like, to know that. So it's like if your energy is not there, so it feels more like I'm dipping my toe in for 2024 and sort of like, but I'm not. I'm like I feel more reticent about it. Is the best way I can say it. And 2025 just feels rocky. So it may just be that you go on a lot of first dates, a lot of second dates, because you're kind of like going in a little bit full force, but it's like a little bit more rocky. 2026, I feel like that's where you're in a relationship and it might be the end of 2025 where you get into that relationship. And 2026 is where I feel like I'm in a relationship. I feel like making love is the song I heard. So and 2027, if I'm not feeling a lot of energy there, it just means there's not a lot of change. It's like kind of standard. Um, so mice, I'm gonna tell you what. Like, mice are cute. They're really cute. I just don't want them in my house. You'll be a silver There's nothing wrong with being a silver fox. Listen, I'm living till I'm 104. So, like, I'm planning on that, at least. I'll take 107. People think I'm crazy for saying that, but, like, I'm planning on being healthy. Um, and I won't be crotchety. My grandmother would, like, spit at people's feet. My one grandmother, she was, like, all kinds of ornery. I think the real her came out. Anyway, I love her dearly. Um, okay, I wrote somebody's name and I can't. Brian, you're up next. Let's go for you. Should I help Adrian? Okay. Yes, but a caveat. So it feels like yes, and also recognize that. So there feels like a little bit of financial tie to this one. You won't be getting your money back. Just like when we give that way, we just give without expectation of receiving it back in return. Um, and I also feel like it's also with real understanding um, that your help will not rescue and or save her. It just feels more like do it out of the kind of your heart without expectation. I do feel like there's some mental health issues there and maybe a little substance abuse issue. I don't know if you can validate any of that. Um, Avantika, we're just adding today. So I'm gonna go through and like in just a minute and kind of look at who I haven't. Wow, spot on. See, I'm the real deal. So when you give to somebody, it's always like remember that, especially financially, you probably won't get it back. Just don't. Just be like, this is a gift to the universe. And you can always think when you give that way. Yes, Crystal, I'll add you in just a minute. Yeah, just ask my question, ask your question. I'll filter through and find. Um, um, I think it might be a little like might lean towards a little bit of it's like a little bit of alcohol, maybe a little bit of the cabbage, the happy cabbage. Um, I'll add you, Keisha, no problem. So it just feels like, yeah, it's gonna be one of those things. Like just do it out of the kindness of your heart. And then like whenever I think of it this way, like when I give money out to the world, I don't worry about like, oh, I've lost it. I just think, oh, it'll come back to me some other way. Like it all circulates around. The energy will come back to me. I'm not worried about it. I hit it with the cabbage. That's the substance. Sure, Shatha and Shatha. I think it sounds like Shatha, right? Is it an A, a long A, or is it a anyway? Okay. Okay. That's yours. Let's move on. Keep moving. I'll try to quit the yammering, knock that down a little bit because that keeps us on here so much longer. My world, I've got you next. And I saw Mariana on here. I didn't add her yet. And a couple other people that I didn't add. Julia, I'm not sure if you want to. Julia is in the other part of the world. I'm trying not to give away, like when I know you're from somewhere else, I'm trying not to give it away to everybody because I feel like, anonymity is good. Okay, then I've got my world. Let me find your question. Oh, what's coming in for me and Sai Kumar in the future? We haven't spoken for many, many months. So just for anybody else, you don't have to tell me if you've talked to them or whatever, because that usually like the less information I get, I feel like the better. Because then I feel like I'm not, I don't know. Sorry, they just keep showing me somebody else's image. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what they're giving me symbolically. His name Rahul. And he does these funny things where he's like both the male and the female, and like his female is represented by a towel on his head, like a towel wrapped up on his head, and he calls her Bay. It's just like he does these funny little skits. Anyway, where it's like, oh, you actually like you think of him as two different people, like having a relationship with himself, essentially. I don't know, it's funny. But I keep seeing him, and so it's like I see somebody who's it's like he's handsome, he's got his hair brushed, it's like parted and brushed, but I also feel like there's a seriousness about him. Um, I don't see anything really happening. I feel like he's kind of doing his own thing. He has his own life. I don't even know that he's in a relationship. I just feel like he's, um, again, like focusing on his own stuff, doing his own thing. I don't see you guys coming back together. Um, I don't honestly, I'm not getting like a seeing a reunion or anything. It just feels like he's doing his own thing. P, I think that's your name. Okay. Rothko, I think I have you on the list. Let me see. Open up. Yeah, I got you. You're after Nicole. Yes, he has his hair brushed. He isn't in a relationship right now, doing his own thing, and it's very funny. Okay, so that's why. So if you look up this guy on TikTok, he's really funny. But there's a serious side to this to him. So it just feels like he didn't want to be in a relationship with anyone, so it makes sense. Yeah. That's okay. He's in a relationship with himself. That's okay. Happy holidays, Crystal. You're welcome, Brian. Happy New Year. Okay. Deborah, don't retract your messages. um, Rosca, Bendy's My World, Solitude. Okay, hang on. So, Nicole, what's your question? I'm trying to find yours, and then I'm going to do Rosca. I saw something about a stoma. Oh, here. Your reading with my dad was right. We got some the word. Oh, a stoma. I was like, you definitely need a stomach. Okay. Can I just ask you this, Nicole? First of all, I'm sorry about your dad. Did something with the lungs make sense when I said that? I do feel like, honestly, I do feel like he's gonna need a stoma permanently. But reassurance on this one, my grandfather had colon cancer at an older age, and, so it's not technically considered familial because he was so old when he got diagnosed, but he ended up having a stoma for, like, whatever. Um, w we told really off jokes about it. My grandfather also left his teeth in a movie theater. Like, 'cause he had dentures and he left them in a movie theater. He would also, oh my god, he was just a mess. Anyway, I do feel like he'll need a stoma for permanently. It just feels like, um, I do feel like they have to take a pretty large portion out, and then it also feels like it ends up, I don't know if it's that there's complications healing or like it takes a lot longer to heal than they expected, that they end up leaving it because it's, a better bet to leave it than rather reconnect, because it feels like reconnecting would be more risky, if that makes sense, like more risk for like healing issues and things like that. So it doesn't feel like, it feels like we go in there initially with the plan that we'll reconnect, we got enough, but I do feel like they take a pretty large section out. I want to say, I mean, we have like so much intestines, but I want to say they take a pretty good chunk of, like, I'm going to say like over a foot. out, and it feels like we go back in with the intention that we can reconnect and it's okay, but I feel like there's um you hit some like difficulties with healing. So it feels like I don't know if there's like a secondary infection or if there's maybe some I don't know, wound dehiscence or something like that, where it's like it's taking a little bit longer to hit that healing stage where they sort of go, you know what? And even with your father, where it just becomes like a joint agreement of we're not going to go ahead and reconnect because it would put you at more risk than it would to keep it without. I do feel like he'll accept it. Okay, wait, say they don't show us where the lymph nodes are yet, but he has been out of breath. Okay, so the thing makes sense. Okay. Um, yeah, I do feel like he's gonna be okay with it because it's like there's other like the treatments are tiring and all of that stuff. So where it's like, it just feels like it's not worth it to him. Like he's like he ends up being fine with it. In many ways, it's like I know this sounds weird, but easier for him to deal with than actually going to the bathroom all the time. Um, and I feel like like because I'm even looking at like I'm asking about a little bit further of is he okay with doing the stoma care and doing putting a pouch on and doing all the changing and stuff? And I feel like he's gonna get some assistance, and I feel like and I even asked about, like so sometimes they can get, like, skin issues around the stoma and, like, there can be stuff with the stoma, but I feel like he'll be okay with it. It'll actually be pretty I mean, I hate to say, like, it's, like, really good, but it's, like it's hitting his sphincter, so oh, okay, 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 yeah. So then that makes sense. Do you know if it's yeah, like, so I'm gonna say this the way it is. I'm gonna ask the question, don't answer quite yet. I'm gonna ask the question because and then I'm gonna explain why I'm asking the question. Do you know if he's edematous, meaning he's having some swelling and things like that? Because I feel this sense of like, um, some of the lung stuff might be like he's not able to pull all of the fluid off of his out of his system. Hi, Sherry. Happy New Year. Good to see you. Crystal, I'll get you on the list. Don't worry. Your aunt wants to ask a question also. Can she be added, please? Nivea? Sure. Um, so that's the feeling I get around that. Is that there's a are you okay? I just feel like maybe you're crying a little right now. Um, so I'm sending you a big hug. It's a lot. Like it's a lot what you're going through. So honor that. It's funny. I feel like your dad's like gonna be like more no fuss, no muss. Like if it's not necessary, like I don't know, it just feels more like with that, like kind of going, well, this is will be okay. Like I've got to focus more on this, my energy here or there. You have no idea. Okay. Okay. All right. Rathka, let's go. You wanted a general reading. I remember that one. Okay, so here's the question I asked instead of like just a general reading. I'm just letting you know how I'm asking this so you're understanding where you get the questions from. So and it's kind of a weird answer, but anyway, so I said I asked what does Rathka need to know for 2024? And I literally was like, get like it was like get ready. And I saw you, and I know this is not you, so this is definitely metaphorical, like you with like I don't know, it's like get ready for the rodeo kind of feeling. Like it's like with a lasso and like a hat. So it does feel like it's gonna like so rodeos as I know them, there's all kinds of stuff going on with them. You get chili cook-offs and all that kind of stuff. So just feel like there's gonna be a lot of action, a lot of busyness in 2024. I feel like 2024 is gonna be very like chaotic, but in a really good way. Really good for your business, really good for your podcast, like real big growth happening and expansion happening. And it's like it's gonna be like, hold on to the saddle. But it you won't it's like that feeling of like not getting bucked off. You're gonna be fine, but just feeling like it might be a little busy. Um and I heard like I just feel big growth in 2024. Um, and it feels like it won't slow down, honestly, till like 2026. So that's good because I feel like a huge part of that is really like I don't know if you've done an affirmation or a burn or something, but it's like I'm just really breaking free and letting go of some of the things that were clogging up the dam, so to speak. I'm just scrolling back up so I can see. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Uh, Makeup by More. I think you're one who said you rewrote your question. So let me look for that and make sure. And I've got answered Brian's. My world I actually answered Deborah, answered Solitude, answered McKeegan. Okay, and then I gotta make sure I get Christina. Do I have you on here? I got you on here. GB, I got you. Okay. Oh, it is a good Texas metaphor. Okay. Wait, Makeup by More. You did ask another question. Okay, so let me find your other question. Yes, yes, KK, I'll add you. No problem. There's a lot on here, so be patient with me tonight. I appreciate it. I feel like it's nighttime, but it's really not nighttime. It's evening. It's just it gets dark here so early. Caramel apple. I love caramel apples. Happy New Year. Lexi, hello, hello. Okay. Let me find yours Makeup by More so I can get your question. You wrote it like a couple times, I feel like, and then I was like, oh, hang on. Oh, Keisha, did I get you? Let me make sure I got you on here. All right, here. Let me do it this way. Maybe we'll do another one, a free one in the like after the new year, and we'll do it like a mediumship one where I'll pick like a few people or something. Makeup by More. I can't find your question. Where did it go? Darn it all. Where'd you go, dear? Do you just repost yours? Because I can't. I don't know. I'm not finding it. I really probably should have my reading glasses. It would make the world a lot easier here. Can you repost it for me? Yeah, Lexi, I got you. We're just going to go. I'm going to be a little insane with this tonight. Don't worry about it. As long as y'all are patient, I'm good. Oh, thank you. Do you see me getting my own place next year? I'm really trying to. Is that the one you wanted? Oh, okay, great. Okay. Thank you, KK. I appreciate that. I'm really trying to manage. Okay. First, what we're going to do, we're going to like do a little coaching on manifesting. I do see your own place, but I'm not trying. I just am. It's mine. I've done it. It's good. When I say that you can manifest, it's easy. It was literally this thing hit me where I just started looking at all the things I've manifested, even if it came out in a way that I wasn't fully wanting. Like one of my kids, I want to declutter my house and have my kids totally be okay with it, because I was tired of all the shit in my house. But I also was like, I don't want to like traumatize my children by getting rid of so much of their stuff, right? I manifested a mouse infestation. So yay. So we're not trying. We're just it's done. It's fine. I've got my own place. And so here's another way to flip that is universe, show me how easy it is to get my own place. Show me how easy it is to manifest my own place. Show me how easy it is to find a place that is in X, Y, and Z price range. And it's like everything when you start putting it that way, or you start throwing it in as a question, your brain won't stop it from the possibilities. You just like, how come it's so easy for me to get this to happen? So I do see it happening for you. I see you starting to look around August. So it may be that you have a lease that's not up yet, or it's not like, like, so it won't happen till about the third quarter. 2025 is standing out of significance. So maybe I'm looking in the third quarter of 2024 and I actually rent the place in 2025. Oh, yeah, I got your aunt on the list. She's just a little further down because there's some people ahead of her, Nicole. Layla, I'll add you. There's several people ahead of you, okay? So just be patient with me. Because it's free. So I don't know if that does that resonate when I say that to you, Make Up by More, when I talk about the time frame. It's like it's actually later in 2024. Like I don't it's I start the looking progress, I feel like in August, or the looking process in August, and then but 2025 significant. So maybe I sign the lease at the a little bit later and then I move in 2025. But when you're manifesting, just come at it a little differently because your brain will just cause blocks because it will see the impossibility instead of the possibility. So when you ask it as a question, or like, thank you for showing me how easy it was to make this happen. And like be specific about what you want, because if you're not, and don't, you don't have to be like all okay. The thing with me, like I'm not mad about, I'm like, yes, it's extra work because time frame wise, I'm having to do this a lot quicker than necessarily I would have. Like I need to clean my declutter my house in like a week versus taking a couple months. And but be specific about what you want in the apartment. Like a great landlord. Those are always important. You live with your mom and I'm trying to get a new job to make more money. Okay, so it may be that feel like financially you're able to get to be ready in August in that time frame, or start really like the looking process, but maybe you're not actually looking at houses, you're just starting to like look at Zillow or whatever renting places there are, apartments for rent.com, I don't know, whatever they are. That's what I feel. Okay, let me move on. Grace, where are you, Grace? Amy F asked a question about a Grace, but I think it's a different Grace. Sorry, I'm doing the scanning thing, which is kind of annoying. When I have you do paid readings, I just go in order by who made the payment when, and so it makes the scanning thing a lot less annoying. Oh my God. You guys are writing a lot. That's okay. Grace, go ahead and oh wait, there you are. May I ask, how does the person I'm thinking about feel about me currently in no contact, but you're feeling his energy? Okay, Grace, what's his first name? Can I have that, please? Also, remember that all readings are for the purposes of entertainment only. I'm not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, or a financial advisor. If you need one of those, please take those. Oh, thank you, KK. Grace, are you still here? What's his first name? That would be helpful. I will try to keep you as anonymous as possible, but if you're blocking the energy, then it's too exhausting for me to work for. Gotta be honest with you. So if you'll just give me his first name, that'd be great. Amy F, while I'm waiting for Grace to answer that. Amy F, let me find your question. Amy, where'd you go there? Where are you? I should go get my Amy Fleming. Oh, okay. Will I get together with Grace? But not the Grace we were just talking about, right? Okay. Grace, if you're still here, come back and tell me who it is you're thinking about. Just the first name. I don't need a last name or a birth sign or birth date or anything else. Just a first name is great. Amy, if you're here, Amy Fleming, I do feel like you will. But it actually feels like a brief interaction and then like, I don't want to say disappointment and regret, but it feels like disappointment, like I built Grace up to be this thing that I don't, and that when I really like, do you know what limerence is? Where you kind of like connect with somebody, but you're not really connected to them. And then it's like, I built this image of who she is in my head. And then when I like actually connect with her, we don't have that much in common, or I see sides of her that I don't really like. Like, I'm just giving examples. I'm not saying this is exactly it, but like, oh, they're not a good tipper, or they don't treat wait staff well. Like things like that, where it's like, you're not really treating me bad, but it's like character traits where I'm like, that's not really who I want to be with long term. And so it's like, kind of like the regret part is not so much, it's not the regret of actually like connecting with her. It's the regret of spending so much time in thoughts about this person and creating it like that. And then like realizing that maybe I shouldn't have done that. That's the feeling I get. Grace, are you here? So that's yours, Amy. I don't know if you're still here, Amy Fleming. Starry Sky, let's find your question. Itchy nose. So if anybody sees Grace pop up, if I'm not like, she needs I need a first name from Grace. And KK, thank you for helping out. I appreciate it as always. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Sorry. Apologize for making everybody wait. Allie T, there you are. I'm like, I want to make sure I had you on my list. Let me just answer you. So I got it. Hey, I've done a reading. Oh, okay. Do you want to do love or work? Since I've got such a long list, which would you want to? Warm Christmas over here. Oh. Are you at home with your, or not? Because it's not. Oh, how is my love life looking? There you go. How's my love life looking after my relationship with Stefan has gone sideways because of his multi? You don't have to tell me all that. Okay. I don't know who Mondarga is. Is that? I don't know who that is. I'll tell you, like, some people might connect in, like, for specific it. My energy that I connect in with, it's like, it's your guides, it's my guides. It's like just an energy, like, oh, it's a Hindu goddess. Okay. Hi, Julie. Are you leaving? Okay, so I just am reading it again. Okay. So I'll just look at insight into the relation. So mom feels like she there's an emotional incestuous relationship, so not physical, but emotional. Um, his energy, did you ever see like the cartoon version of The Little Mermaid where Ursula turns the mermaids into like takes something from them and then turns them into those little shrivelly things? That's how his energy feels to me. Just this little kind of spineless, able to be controlled. And I get the feeling of like it's a gift that it went sideways, a gift to you. I actually feel like you sent out you sent out a manifestation or did an offering um of like to keep you protected. And so I see lighting an incense and leaving an incense burning, and I see did you take like maybe a beaded like a bracelet with just not a lot of beads, like a bracelet with like a bead or two, or just like a small number of beads, and set it on the altar? And it feels like leaving an offering for protection and for like of a it was almost like a general protection, like not even connected to this. And then it went sideways. Okay. I'm right. You did this. Okay. So they're showing me that you did this. And it was like, that's what ended it because long term, had you stayed with him, and it would have been a miserable marriage, honest to God. Because you would have also, remember, you would have been connected to her, and she's not a very good lady. Let me put it this way: she's not a terrible lady. She's just somebody who hasn't done the work, and she needs to do the work. Well, needs to is like use that loosely. She would benefit from it. So, welcome to manifesting. It's, um, yeah. Oh, what was the other part of that? How do you enhance your tuition? I'll answer this one because it's kind of a separate question. Um, I will, Dr. Fizza, I will keep you. I'm going to keep you on the list. Just know that you have several people ahead of you, like a lot. So, um, but that's okay as long as you're patient. And you want to hang out. So, ways to enhance your intuition. First of all, honor it. So when something comes through, it will come through. It's not anxiety ridden. It's not scary. It's not like that. It's not that constant repetitive. It's literally here and gone. It's there and that. That's why when you're like, oh, I had a reading with you, I'm like, I don't remember, because it literally is. The reason why I remember some of these other people is because they're coming in week after week after week, and they may take a break for a little bit, or they've not only have they done readings here, they've done private readings, or they've had me do some group things for them, like a Zoom group reading for their friends and things like that. Like that's how I remember those people. It's a constant like repetition. Like Devry's here all the time. Some of these other people are here all the time and helping out. So that's why I remember them. So if you just come in a couple times, and or they've like commented, now it's funny, I can remember Dennis, but they've made comments that are like a little bit more where it's, but if I'm just answering a question quick and moving on, I don't, it's my intuition. It's here and gone. It's very quick. It's very subtle. The other thing that's really important is, so like when it happens, instead of going like, oh, but I got it wrong, it's, yeah, honor that though. Like I heard it. I might not have listened to it, but I heard it. So go through and think about all the times where you had a thought about, maybe it came in as a thought, a feeling, an image in your head, like, oh, don't forget to bring this with, and then you did forget to bring it, and it turned out disaster happened. Or my guys used to warn me about when my kids would have blowouts, which was really nice because I would always pack extra diapers and extra outfits when in this situation where I would think, oh, we're only going to be gone an hour, so I'll be fine. So it's like those little things. If you forget about, even if you don't listen, like honor it. Go back and be like, well, I got it right. I just didn't listen. That's not a bad intuition. It's just you chose not to listen to it. Or the times where you had a bad feeling about a person and you didn't listen to it, and like 6 months later, after being in a friendship or a work partnership, like their true color showed up and you were like, oh, I should have listened. Well, but that doesn't mean your intuition was wrong. So it's like going back and kind of reframing and looking at that instead of shaming yourself. It's like, oh, that's how it felt when it came through. Because until you really start to recognize what it feels like coming through, you kind of don't honor it. So that's like the best way is to like think about it. And it's not always about a download. Like some people think it's like, oh, it's got to be this like, oh, like it's telling me I have this great gift. It's like, no, sometimes it's telling you not to forget that stuff at the grocery store. That's your guys will remind you about that stuff if you let them. It's not always about like the most important thing in the world. It's sometimes just the subtle like, let's make your life a little easier kind of thing. Um Grace, did you ever show up again? Are you still here? Maybe you got tired of waiting. Okay, Starry Sky, let me find your question. Ali, I'm not going to answer that part of it because that's then like going into like a full reading, and I got so many people here, so it's not personal. It's just what I said about the beads blew your mind. Well, they show me, and so I just literally will vomit out whatever they show me or say. So, oh, you use tourmaline. I just thought about that. Well, that's a good one to use. Okay. Starry Sky, where are you, dearie? Oh, do you think my niece Marge and her new boyfriend Tom will marry in the future? The old one was a dud, just like you said. Okay. Marge and Tom. Are they a hit? I do feel like their energies match. He's a little bit of a bump on the log, but not in a bad way, like not in a I do feel like he really loves her and cares about her. Um I don't know if they'll choose to get married. I do feel like they will cohabitate. Um it feels like I actually feel like it may be her choice not to actually get married, but just to cohabitate, like being okay with that and not feeling the need to do the whole thing. If they get married, it would be like maybe 2 to 3 years out, and it feels like it's, very small ceremony, like maybe going to the courthouse, not doing anything big because, um, I feel like she's kinda moving into this space of, like, not wanting to be a consumerist and, like, do all the stuff for the stuff fake sake of doing it. Okay. Okay, Julie, you're up, then GB, then Christina. It's been a while, Caramel Apple, by the way. Where's Julie's question? I had to remind myself where I was at. Oh, Shatha. I don't think I got your name. I just saw your name there. I don't know if you're still here. Okay, Julie, where are you at, dear? What's your question? You know what? If I call your name, will you just... Oh, there it is. Will I manifest a straight and healed back in 2024? So I heard yes, but I keep seeing a little bit out of alignment. So I don't know that it's perfectly straight, but I feel like it's enough. And the healing comes through the strengthening of the muscles around it. So you're not going to think of it as manifesting because you're doing the work to get there, but I do feel like it will be your back will be much stronger. It really does feel like it takes like towards the end of 2024. Um, and they're talking so something I learned this time around where I started doing weight training again. I stopped for a while because I kept having struggling with my shoulder. I couldn't go overhead on my left shoulder. So I have hypermobility, which I didn't know. I just like sort of started learning, and like so if you're like, oh, you don't have it, like my thumbs touch my wrist. I don't know if you can see this. Okay. And like my pinkies go like back. Anyway, so that's not the only thing. Like I can do like all the things where they show you like anyway. Um, so because of that, your shoulders tend to round a little bit more. And so like I now when I'm weight training, I feel like I'm really cognizant of it and like pulling my arms. There's a point to this, by the way. So I'm making sure my arms are up by my ears, like all of that kind of stuff. I still can't like fully, I can get up here now, but there's a little twinge and then I have to like readjust. So it feels like you're going to be able to, but with your shoulders, I feel like you need to do this. This is why I'm telling you this. When you're doing things and start with just getting your arms above your head, where it's like you're doing just getting through the mechanics of it. It's like I know that your back, it's like where the issue is lower down. Um, it's not your lower back. It feels like your lower lumbar area. Um, not lumbar. Thoracic area, like right before anyway. So but it's like there, I just feel like but your shoulders need to come up here to strengthen the other muscles to help support the rest of it and pull it more straight. So it feels like it comes but with strengthening. Um, it doesn't feel like it's perfectly straight. It feels like there's a slight like bit of misalignment, like but it's better than it is. And it feels like but it's gonna take like almost the full year to get there. And it feels like through strengthening to like help pull it back. I don't know either way. That's my sense. Happy New Year, Christina. Okay. All right. GB, where are you at? Let me find. Are you still here, GB? And thank you everyone for hanging out and being patient. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm a subscriber. Okay. May I ask what's next for me and Arash? I want a long-term committed relationship with him. Um, okay. So what's interesting is with him, I actually feel like you have to get your parents on board with this one and his parents on board. Like it doesn't feel like it feels like other parties have to be involved for anything long term to happen. Um, so it feels like if you were to get the parents together to have like dinners and be social and friendly together, it would happen. It's I don't know if you guys do arranged marriages, but it's like that kind of feeling of they need to be on board for this to happen. Um, both sets of parents have a very big influence on the two of you, but I feel like your father is has a lot of influence on it. I don't talk to my parents. They cut me off due to personal drama. You do arranged marriages, okay. It just feels like I I'm gonna say this. It's so weird. So in order for that to happen, it feels like your parents have to be involved somehow. Okay. So for his family to be involved, it's like there has to be. So maybe that's why they're saying this, like, because you're not talking to your parents, it's not going to happen or come together unless that were to happen. Um, so it's like it, and I'm not telling you to connect with your family just so you can be with this man. Like I'm estranged from many family members. So I think there's a healthy, good reason for doing that. And I fully believe, stand by that. If, let's not call it drama, let's call it dysfunctional behavior. Um, if there's dysfunctional behavior there, that you should have a good line drawn. Um, And I actually feel like it wasn't you being dramatic, it was, like, them cutting you off because they couldn't, especially your father, couldn't, make you be obedient. Um, I think things will be different, and his response will be different when he actually comes back. That's my feeling, is, like, more like needing to do what his family wants him to do. Um, I think it's easy to say that as to give you space and time instead of being fully honest, to say, like, "Oh, as soon as I come back, I will." Um And it is not that you're not a good person or worthy or valuable. It is just a feeling like it's really important for the parent, like for an arranged marriage, for his parents to be involved, for your parents to be in. That's just the feeling I get. That he's not gonna have is that much say. Hang on, I just gotta put on some lip stuff. Uh, as much say, oh, this is like I like this, but I don't. Sorry, too much like mushed out. Ugh. Um, eh. um, so that's my feeling, is just I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, you're overseas too. It's late there. Thank you for staying on. Um, Christina, Grace, if you show up, I'm still here. Christina, and then Mariana, and then Julia. You have a question. Sherry, I think I gotta get your name on here. Okay, Christina, hang on. I know you wrote one. Anubov. You're welcome, GB. Is my name on? Crystal Pickett, where are you? Yeah, your name's here. Hang on. Your name's on the list. I just called you. Oh, no, Christina. I have Crystal. I've got you somewhere. Yeah, I've got you. So it goes Christina, Mariana, Julia, Crystal, and then Nivea, Nicole's aunt. So wait, where's Christina? Christina, I know you're on here somewhere. I don't know if you're still here, but if I can answer this, I will. Crystal's there. Keisha, do I have you on here? Let me get you on here. Okay. Sorry, I'm just having to scroll through several pages. I saw Christina here somewhere. There we are. Open to any insight you have about my marriage. Would you say my distrust is warranted and valid? Okay. Christina, are you here? I'd like to ask a first name, if that's okay. What did I do with my rock? Where's my rock? A first name of your spouse. Shatha? No, you're not. There's like 8 people ahead of you. Christina, Are you here? I just want to know what your spouse's name is. I can tell you a little bit, but I just feel like with that energy of that name, it would help. But mm, I don't know if Christina's still here. Okay, so it's interesting. I feel like there's a lot of ebbs and flows in your marriage. I'm just going to say this really quick, but I'm not going to go too much into this since I don't think you're here anymore. If you pop back in, maybe we'll go back to it. But I feel like there's a loving energy, but I also feel like there's a lot of it's like a back and forth between loving energy and distance, like a lot of like this. Um, okay, I'll put you on the list. But my sense is that I'm not picking up whether there's affairs happening, but I do feel like there is a sense of um, oh, there you are, Rick. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it, it's like I don't feel like there's no love or there's no connection at all, but it just again it feels like a back and forth. I feel like he has set a precedent for not always being honest, even just about little things. So it's like it's hard to have that trust. Um, and it's stuff that he's lied about that's just stupid, where it's like, and then you call him on it, and he like doubles down on it a little bit. Um, I don't know that he's always been faithful, but I also feel like I don't know that you're genuinely happy. I think you need to, you're a little behind. So if you, Christina, yeah, I say, yeah, yeah. So, you might be a little behind, Christina, if you drag like, there's like a little thing on the bottom of the screen, you can drag it to catch up. Um, so it's the feeling of not having been fully happy for a really long time and also hoping that it'll come, like that feeling will come. Like having moments of happiness, like of love shared, but also feeling like um not really being authentic to who you are and where you're at. So I will never tell you to leave a marriage. I will never tell you to do or be in a relationship or don't be in a relationship. But um I will tell you to fall in love with yourself again and focus on yourself and the rest of it becomes clearer. I would trust your intuition. I don't know that the infidelity, if there's I hate going here. Infidelity is like I have a deep relationship with someone else. I have you, Sherry. Clover, I don't think I'm going to add you today because I've got a lot more people still, and I've been on for almost 2 hours or an hour and a half. So, but But you know what? You're subscribed to my channel, stay subscribed. I do these readings every Sunday. The reason why this one is free is because I donate 30% every year. So this is like a thank you for raising $1,412. I don't have a first name of the person. I don't know that it's one person. I feel like there are little things here and there. Do not go into this and go, though the psychic said. I would say learn to fall in love with yourself. Start honoring yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind about how you speak to yourself. Go within and have grace for who you are instead of, oh, I should have known better, whatever. It's like, well, I'm doing the best with the tools I have. I'm beautiful. I'm wonderful. I'm smart. I'm worthy. I'm valuable. I'm chosen. And start falling in love with yourself, and things shift and change. I think clarity comes to you. Not I think clarity will come to you when doing this. Trusting your intuition. When you start to honor yourself and do this, like the self-concept work and the inner dialogue, changing the inner dialogue and how you talk to yourself and how you treat yourself, and having more compassion for yourself, it offers a space of like learning to set your own boundaries, have healthy boundaries, and like not being like, oh, you're not honest with me, or you're not. It becomes a like, I just don't have the energy for this anymore because I deserve better. So I feel my really and truly my feeling is like the question shouldn't be around infidelity. It should be around the fact that he broke your trust a long time ago simply by not being honest about stupid stuff. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but okay. Why does this keep disconnecting? I might have to get a charger for this so I can keep my list. Okay, Mariana, it's your time. Okay, here you are. Okay. Oh, because you said it. Thank you. For me, yes, a general reading about my current work situation for 2024. Oh, there we go. I got it. Any changes? I've been taken away from a big project and been doing menial tasks. I feel like there's going to be a big change in, so the first thing I heard was favoritism. So I feel like there's favoritism. I just had a hair on it. Favoritism within like your group from the top down, like from the bosses down. But I felt like it was interesting. They made me feel like an undercurrent, when you think of like a riptide, how like the current comes under, you can't see it from the top, but it's like kind of pulling everything out. And I feel like in April, I think your boss leaves. That's the feeling it is April, your boss leaving. I feel like your job is safe. It feels like it may be a little annoying until then, but things are coming to fruition and coming to light around your boss. You didn't miss your turn. There's a lot of people ahead of you, Dr. Fizza. Hang on. I just need to type a letter so I can get, would that be Cole or Murda? I think it's Cole. It feels like a male. Yes, the big boss prefers a sucker who says yes to everything. So it feels like in April, there's like it's like I see the beginning of the year being like this like big rip tide, like, you don't always see it coming. And then in April, a change. He's the big boss, which makes all the decisions. Well, I don't know that he'll be making all the decisions after April. He might have somebody new come in. I don't know if he's fired or if it leaves, but it feels like a change. Okay, so I might have to go get a charger. And I thought that I had this thing charges so slow. Hang on. Come on. Um Julia. And then I'll do Keisha. Let me do Keisha quick because I think she asked a question earlier than Julia. Oh, Nella, I don't think I got you on the list. I'm sorry. Well, I'll answer yours really quick. So, Nella, if you're still here, I see it. I see you reconciling in a couple of months, but I don't see it lasting after that. Like I see it like there's a reconciliation, and then I see it lasting a few months, and then it's like, oh no, this is why we were not together, and like sort of like I feel like you packing up and being like, see you later. Like I deserve better kind of feeling. Ah, solitude. Stop retracting your messages. Nobody's gonna know who you are anyway. Please don't do that because people want to come back and read stuff. Come on. If I see you unsubscribed, I'm going to block you. I know that's rude, but geez, come on now. No, wait, who am I looking for? Okay, so I did Nella's. Julia, there you are. Did you write a question? Julia, did you write a question? I guess you didn't write a question. I thought you did, so I just threw your name on there. Let me see. Are you still here? Maybe you're gone. Oh, there you are. Oh, Keisha, you're there. Okay. Keisha, what's your question? Can you type it for me? Should I apply to be a lasting power of attorney for my dad, or will it all work out within? Or will all work out within it? Without it, I mean, with family being genuine and honor his wishes. Uh, n- Keisha, could you type your question? So I actually feel like you should be lasting power of attorney. Um, I don't know if this is a cousin or a sister. It's a female to your side who feels like um, they think they know better. I don't know anything beyond that. So it just feels like it's not a should you do it. It just feels like you will do that. Um, so it just feels like you will do that. It doesn't feel like it just she has this interesting it's like a comical caricature type feeling where it's like and like in British films, there's always like the kind of flaky, flighty person who acts like they know what they're doing, and then you're like, they're just like a disaster. That's the energy it feels like. Oh, thank you, KK. I want to know if you see me meeting someone new for a serious relationship that will lead to marriage and children. Um, relationship will lead to marriage and children. Okay. I see you having a marriage and children. I feel there's something about 4 years. I don't know if that's when you meet them or if you're married by then. I'm gonna leave it at that. The lasting part, I don't know that it is. And like nobody gets into marriage being like, I mean, you can like walk away from like you on a like, you know, I'm gonna be married forever. I just I don't know that it is forever. So I'm gonna say that I see you marrying, I see you getting kids, having kids. I don't know that it lasts forever. And it's not because there's anything wrong with you and they run away. I feel like you becoming empowered. It's sort of like a growing apart. I know that's not what you want to hear. And I could have just not said that part. Okay. Crystal, did I answer your question? Sorry, dear. I feel like he's saying one thing and doing another, but okay. Oh, there you are. I posted a question and some information about my question, so I want you to read both. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Is there any way you can retype it? Uh, I don't see the first part. Okay, does my ex-husband Johnny want to reconnect with me in 2024? How does he feel about me? I immediately heard no. Um, he remarried another lady, and I saw him on Christmas. He didn't look so happy. I feel it won't last in 2024, but he loves me. He owes me an apology because he wanted us to get remarried. Felt hurt by it. No, I don't feel like you will remarry in 2024. I feel like in 2025 you might rekindle something briefly. Look, Johnny's problem is Johnny, and Johnny not wanting to take accountability for his behavior and being a bit of an Eeyore, and also like, woe is me, like everything goes wrong for me. Um, so I don't feel it in 2024. I do feel like a brief rekindling and then like a quick exit on your part, trying to come back around. Yeah. So that's what I feel. So I don't know that yeah. So it feels like I don't feel like it'll happen in 2024, maybe 2025, the beginning part. And then it feels like a you making a quick exit of like, nah, I don't want this. Okay. All right. Nicole, where's your question for about your aunt? Hang on, let me find it. I think I saw it somewhere. Oh, there it is. What will happen in Nivea's marriage with Sil? Oh, okay. Can you just tell me, does 25 years connect with their marriage? Like, have they been married 25 years or have they been together for 25 years? You're welcome, Crystal. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I'm not tired. It's interesting. I get more tired in my basement. I don't know why that is. I'm just Crystal. No, I don't think his current marriage will. Even though I don't want to answer too many of the same, like for the same person, but I don't think it'll last. I think you should trust your intuition on that. Nicole, are you here? If you come back, Nicole, let me know. Because I want to ask about the 25 years about your aunt and so. Well, I'm just borrowing energy from them, Julia. It's just like they just move through you. I think when I get more tired is like when I go do a fair and like like a psychic fair and I'm working there and um like whoever sets the rooms up is never somebody who actually does readings. They've been married 25 years. Perfect. Okay. So here's the thing. I don't know that they'll divorce, but I really feel like they're in like a tough spot. Um, Maybe at the 30-year mark, they consider living separate lives, like living separately, but not actually divorcing and kind of like a little bit doing their own thing. It feels like there's more of a change then, but I feel like right now it's more of, just tired of the same old stuff. So it just feels like maybe in another, like, but not, I don't see a big change yet. Maybe in another 5 years, it feels like there's a bigger change. Um, but I still don't know that it's divorce. It feels like maybe living separately, but kind of thing. Okay. Done. KK, your turn, and then Sherry, and then Caramel Apple, and then Lexi. Okay, Sean. Were you texting the wrong person? I don't know why it's not sending on time. It's okay. No worries. You might just be a little bit behind. So KK, what's your question? Can you share any insights on what I can expect on the job front? I had one screening interview, but dead silence since. Was it happen to be 3 weeks ago? I don't know. I got 3, but I feel like it's in December. Yes, 3 weeks ago. Okay. So I think that it's dead silent, honestly, just because of the holidays. I don't think it's because they don't want you. I think it's like sort of taking a break because enough people were going to be out, like over this time where they couldn't really move forward with doing much with it. I feel like after the first week of January, so by like the week of the 8th, you'll hear from them. I feel like there'll be a second and third interview, which is it's just I don't understand people, but that's what I feel like will happen. They're at that point now. You're welcome, KK. So it feels like it'll stay that way for at least another 5 years. I feel like there's something that's keeping them like a little bit still tied, and not quite making that jump. Um, and I feel like it's like yeah. It feels like it's gonna stay that way, Nicole, for a little bit. It feels like the bigger change comes in about 5 years. And I don't know why. Maybe financially it makes more sense for them to be a little bit together a little bit longer, like a little bit more of an unraveling needs to happen. I don't know. You're welcome, KK. Okay, so got KK, Caramel Apple, and then Sherry. Jessica, is the still people yeah, there's still people I've got, so here's what I have right now. I have Caramel Apple, Lexi, Caramel Apple, Sherry, Lexi, Layla, Dr. Fizz, Shatha, and Anubhav. And Grace, if Grace ever comes back, but Grace might not come back. Go ahead. Oh, Grace. Yeah, go post your question. I think I asked something and then you wanted to know about somebody you're thinking about. I can't fully remember. Post your question, but post the name of the person, please. I would really appreciate that. And then Caramel Apple, post your question, and then I need to do Sherry, and Sherry's just going to take a minute because hers is mediumship. His name is Diego. What was the actual question you had again, though? Because I don't fully remember it. I don't feel like scanning all the way back up to find it because it was pretty far up there. And it gets to a point where I can't go all the way back up. And I really hope some of you come back and actually get readings that aren't free because, I mean, the money really does go for a good cause. It's feelings about me. We broke up last year. Okay. Okay, so Diego is the kind of guy who he's another one who like does not want to take accountability for his behavior, and I sort of feel like he goes around and talks in a negative tone about you, like says things that aren't true. Um because he doesn't want to take accountability for his behavior and his part in the failure of the relationship. Um um you're welcome, Nicole. Thank you, KK. So my sense about Diego is just that, like, so it's like he's not pining over you. He's sort of going, "Oh, she was so X, Y, and Z," like, and it's all sort of fabricated and whatever. So, like, there's that meme that's like, maybe you don't, but it says something along the lines of like, they had to lie about you to make you look worse, and you had to lie about them to make them look better. It's that. So, and I know that you're sort of taking this as like, it's not about you. He is like that about everybody. His kids' mothers told me that everything you're saying, super accurate. Yeah. So, girl, fall in love with yourself and move on and pull that energy into like only accept better from other people. Right? So it's like when you feel better about yourself, and feeling better about yourself means you literally have to change the dialogue inside your head. Decide that I'm no longer to speak badly about myself. I'm no longer to make myself feel terrible about things. I'm just going to have compassion and grace and remind myself that I'm an amazing person just as I am, that I don't have to have X, Y, and Z. I don't have to have the perfect body. I don't have to have the perfect hair. I don't have to have the perfect purse or the perfect job or whatever. I'm enough just as I am. And you start talking to yourself that way, then you start like when you start feeling good about yourself and start telling yourself you're a good person and you're enough, then you also start having a little bit more compassion for others and also having better boundaries, which means you can't make other people align into the way you want, but you go, I just don't have time for that behavior. I had a really great conversation with a friend of mine here, and I was like, we know some same people, and I just said, I don't want to connect with that group of people anymore. Not because I think they're terrible or evil. It's just, it's clicky energy. And I don't want to be a part of that. Like, I don't care if you're famous. I don't care if you're super duper rich. Like, I have taken people's bodies to the morgue in the middle of the night. I have cleaned bodies when they have died. I have helped enough people through the dying process. I have talked to parents about making their kids DNR. I have gone to my patients' funerals. I have no patience for stupidity anymore. And like, if you're a good person, I want you in my life. If you've got great energy, I want you in my life. If you're worried about and caught up in things that are about like, if you have the right car or, that makes you a better person, then like, I don't got time for that. So it's like, when you start to love yourself, you stop having time for, is he going to come back to me? You're going to be like, see ya. Trash takes itself out. Like, you'll look at people differently, and it's not from a judgmental place. It's just like, I just don't align with that. Okay. So Caramel Apple, are you still here? If not, we'll go with Sherry and we'll try and connect with Dennis. Okay. All right. Now, for those of you who are new here or just subscribed or don't come a lot, you can see consistently people are saying, yes, you're 100% right about that. That's a right on, spot on. All right, Caramel Apple, go ahead and ask your question. So if you see that, then like, take a chance on me. I don't know why Abbott just came to my head, but take a chance, take a chance. My feet need lotion. Okay. Y'all don't need to know that, but my feet are here. I'm noticing them. I think you might be a little bit behind. What is my love life looking like in the new year? Not much till February, and then I see like like they said like a spring of dates, so like a handful of dates, and then kind of not much for March. July is more promising. I feel like by July is when I'm in a relationship. So it doesn't mean you're not dating until July from that like time. It just feels like I feel like there's a month period of getting to know each other and then more commitment in July. So maybe the end of May is when you meet them. And in November, you may it's like there's something important, like an important milestone in the relationship. So either you go on your first vacation or you meet family. It's like an important milestone there. Okay. Sherry, are you here, dear? Okay. Ugh. Just wiggling around a little. My bones need to move. I really need to blow my nose. I have no Kleenex here, so just deal with it. Also weird to blow my nose on camera. All right, Sherry, should we try and connect with Dennis? We got it. I'm trying to go through these two because I have to go to the bathroom. Okay. All right. Did you have a dog named Pookie or something Ookie, Tookie, Pookie? You're welcome, Caramel Apple. Like, because there's or would he have said the name Pookie or called you Pookie? There's something with that. Paco? I'll take it. So he's with Paco. And I'm just telling him thank you. Y'all, I did a reading for this woman. I can't tell you too many details, but like randomly got Yiddish words that I was able to give. And I was like, she's saying this. She was like, that means this. And I was like, oh my God. It means whatever the Yiddish word is for talking, like chats. And I was like, oh my God. So I don't want to tell you guys any more of it, but like that, I got that. And I was like, for the record, I only know like Tukis and there's a word for dick and I can't remember what it is. Oh, putz, a putz. I don't know much other than that. Okay. He's laughing. He thinks that's funny, by the way. Okay, Dennis, thank you for your patience. So he's kind of like giving you hugs and kisses and he's saying you're doing so good. He's really proud of you. So I don't know if there's been like a milestone change for you or but he's like reinforcing that you're doing really well and he's really proud of you. He wants you to try and connect more with him. So remember, I know from the very beginning you did he loved that dog. Okay. I remember you did the meditation, right? My meditation and you connected with him. You had a really great experience. He's asking you to do that again because he really enjoys that. He really enjoys like it's fun for him. It's like a fun activity as if you were doing like going out and going bowling together or something like that. Like he's really enjoys doing that and connecting with you that way. So he's encouraging you to do more of that. And you do my video or another person's video, it doesn't really matter. And he says even setting the intention before you go to bed to visit him, um, for him, it's fun. It's an enjoyable pastime. His jeans, he keeps showing me like his jeans are really baggy on him. Like, did he have a belly and then like kind of like a no butt, like skinny legs? I don't know if you'd call them chicken legs, but like it's that feeling of like really big baggy pants. Hi, V. So I think he's just showing you like with his like I think that's just another validation that I'm not like just pulling that and making it for you. But it's like he wants to do that and connect with you that way because that's more personal and he goes then I can be he can be a little dirty with you there. Or I'm going to say this in like more flirtatious. Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you, V, for subscribing. I kind of have the list closed right now because I've been on since like over 2 hours. Stop doing that. And I still have hang out here. We'll see if I have patience. Just hang out here. But I still have several people ahead of you. Okay. But also come back and do ones when I do like stay here so you can see since you're a new subscriber, you stay here so you can see like I'm the real deal. And I'm worth the investment. Every Sunday I'm here and I do $12 questions and then I take 30% of that, which is $4 and I donate $4. That's so like even though I get hit with the PayPal fee, I still take $4 of that and I donate it to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. So this year we were able to donate $1,412, which is a really nice amount because at every dollar provides 3 meals. So it's like it's worth it. It's a win-win. Everybody wins. Okay. That would be him. Okay, good. So he says he could be a little more, little dirty birdie with you if you connect with him directly instead of through me. He's trying to be, I feel like very flirtatious with you. So I'm going to leave you with that, Sherry. Thank you for coming back and for, okay. Why does this do this? Oh, there we go. Okay. I wonder if I need a new tip. Okay, Lexi. And by next year means like, next weekend. A week from tomorrow. um Lexi, where did I just saw your question? Did you delete it? Oh, listen to me, you little stinker pantses. Grace doesn't know this, but don't retract your messages. No one's gonna know who anybody is. And also, like, I don't have so many subscribers that randomly your neighbor or down the street is gonna be like, I know Diego and Grace. Like, they just aren't gonna know. And I'm saying it, you can't delete that. just, just leave it. So, because some people need a little bit, Lexi, where's your question, Levy? Where did it go? Where did it go? It was here. It was here. It was here. There it is. Do you see me getting into a serious relationship this year? I heard yes right away. Thank you so much. You have completed. Oh, yay! Thank you. You're welcome. Happy New Year and happy holidays to you. Okay. Lexi, serious relationship in 2024. I just heard one of my daughters walk away. She knocked just lately. So I heard yes, but not more towards the end of it. It's weird. I just saw like a pool float or uh, oh, never mind. I heard it's a bit of a sticky situation. So I'm just gonna say they're either still committed for some reason. I am not judging you, though. You are worth having somebody that is fully available. And so if you get into this sticky situation, um, they're not fully available. And I would ask yourself, why do I want somebody who's not fully available to me? And maybe not like beat up on yourself about it, but like leave it as an open question for the universe to kind of like explore that inner stuff. Because I feel like they're not, it's a sticky situation. And to me, sticky situation feels like not fully available. So maybe sticky could be just ended a relationship or like going through the process of a divorce, something like that. Listen, there's something called the great divorce happening. Lots and lots of people are getting divorced. There's going to be a lot. The dating pool is going to open up, but make sure that they're doing their work internally. Okay, Lexi and then Dr. Fizza, if you're still here, and Anubhav. Layla, are you here? Any of these people, go ahead and ask your question so we can just kind of move it along. So I've got Layla, Dr. Fizza, Shatha, and Anubhav. Oh, there you are. Do you ever see me getting accepted to any of the law schools that I plan on or applying to on in the future? Hi, Lalima. I don't know who Flo is. Who's Flo? Do you ever see me getting accepted? Thank you for the like. Okay, Fire Spawn. I'm not sure. Let me get through them because I've been on for over 2 hours. And so I kind of have to go to the bathroom. Hi, Flo. I don't know why I didn't see yours. So I did say just hang out just a little bit. I might answer a couple extra that after the list is closed, because the list is closed. Because I've been reading for over 2 hours. Okay, sorry, Layla, I'm here. Don't worry. Do I ever see you getting? It's okay to leave that message, KK, because it's true. The list is closed. Okay. So I do feel like you'll get into law school. I don't feel like here's the interesting. I don't feel like it's a top tier school, but I feel like it's like a really good school and the feeling of being surprised. So, like maybe I just threw out the application as like just a like throw caution in the wind. Let's just see what happens. It's worth it kind of thing. Like might as well. I've got nothing to lose kind of feeling. And being pleasantly surprised and that being your choice. So not like when I say top tier, not like Harvard or anything like that, but maybe something like UT Austin, where it's a really great school. It's just not like considered a like Ivy League, whatever. And we're not like, I don't know, what is there, NYU and but still a really great school and like sort of like I applied on a whim feeling. So you will. So maybe if you have a hard time believing like this particular school will accept me, just throwing out in the universe if we're doing manifesting, right? Because I really believe our thoughts create our reality. And if you're here, you probably believe that too. Yeah, so apply even though you like the and then here's what you're gonna say is like, "I know I will get accepted somewhere and be pleasantly surprised." And leave it at that. So then it's like and then also just, like, start like, here's something that I do sometimes, like, when I feel like a little lack of confidence, I'm like, "If that idiot can do it, I can do it." Like, look at other things where you're like, um, "Okay, look who has law degrees in even within the government," where you're like, "That guy's got one, I could do it." So I think who's the dude in Florida? I think he's a lawyer. Um, and a guy out of Houston, and I'm sorry if you like these people and you're offended, but, like, they seem a little bit of like a dink to me. Ted Cruz, I think, is an attorney, and you're like, "If that guy can do it, I can get in somewhere." So, like, start shifting the energy where it's like, if they can like, I'll get in somewhere, right? I don't know. Like, I okay, so here's what's interesting with nursing. There's a nursing shortage everywhere, so I'm always like, "You're gonna get hired," but there were people, like, when I would come up here as when I came up to the New York area as a travel nurse, people were like, "I've been applying and nobody." I'm like, "That's insanity to me." Because I got offered every single job I ever interviewed for. Why? Because I always had that energy of, like, they need nurses. Like, of course they're gonna hire me because they need nurses. Of course you'll get in somewhere. But it feels like it's a place when you do it, it feels like it's like maybe a better school than you thought you would get into, but you sort of applied on a whim. Okay, so then I did Layla, Shatha. Did Dr. Fiz, are you still here? Dr. Fizza, something like that? Anuhav, if you're still here, you need to ask your question. General, please, what do I see coming towards you soon? I'm going to do 2024 because if I do soon, or maybe the first 3 months of 2024, because soon is relative. Um, I don't think this is your pregnancy, but I feel like there's a new baby in the family in 2024. Because I saw a pregnancy bump come up. But I feel like there's a new baby in the family in 2024. And I don't know if they do like godparents. I don't know what the equivalent of that is, but it's a feeling of this being a very um, important connection for you. Okay, Mahela. Are you here, Shatha? Are you here? Does that resonate? Is somebody already pregnant or newly pregnant? That's not the only part of your message. I'm not saying you're sulking, but I'm kind of saying you're sulking. You tend to have the energy of like, when is it going to happen to me? Because I see you like sort of like drawing lines in the sand with your foot and wondering like, when is all of this coming for me? Um, I, there's either a job change or a job transition in April, May time period for you. And it feels like a step up or for the better. Um, and you may end up being like a manager or something where I have people working underneath me and I'm delegating work to them. Okay, so there may be a pregnancy that comes up soon in the family, and I feel like it's a connection to you. Like there's a connection to you. So either like you become their godparent or, something like that. But it feels like an important connection for you. I don't say I'm going to say this when I'm looking at like the major things. So like it feels like a job thing. I don't see a love connection or a deep relationship then. I do feel like towards the end of the year, sort of discussion about relationships. So again, I don't know if this is an arranged marriage sort of situation, but it feels like there's a prospect at the end of the year. Okay. I will leave you with that. Let's see. I don't think I have too many more. Dr. Fizza, are you here? Anubhav. I think that's what I wrote. My handwriting was just real quick. I don't know if that's how you say your name. If you're here. And then for sure, if they don't pop up, I will take Firespawn and Mihaela. You're welcome, Shatha. Firespawn, are you here? Do you want to ask a question? Quickly, quickly. I still need to eat dinner. Get my mom dinner. It's been weird. It's weird having her here, but feeling like she's not here because she's quarantining downstairs because I was like, I cannot have COVID in my house again. Like my kids cannot have it again. I cannot have it again. I cannot be prisoner to my house again. Okay. Firespawn. I don't know if you're caught up to the live because I don't know. Nobody's answering. So Firespawn or Mihaela, I'll do yours. You're glad to receive guidance from my spirit guides. What do you want to know about? Just anything for 2024? Did all of my regulars who are here, did y'all get your questions asked? Devery, you want to ask one more question? Go ahead, you can. Okay. Am I saying your name right? I think that this is metaphorical. So, unless by chance you have a snake and you're hatching eggs, I don't think you do. I think this is, so to me, this means when I see that and they're showing me that there's someone close to you with, ulterior motives that will make themselves known. It will start to make themselves known. I feel like end of January, but really probably February is when it hatches. So it's like someone that seems innocent or innocuous at this point, you wouldn't recognize them for what they are, and it starts to kind of come out in February. So my sense for you is that this feels like not at work. It feels like a personal relationship. So either it doesn't feel like a dating relationship. Honestly, it feels like a friendship. So um it feels like someone new you're spending time with where you wouldn't really like fairly newish within the last couple of years. Um so it's this feeling of, I'm trying not to read the screen and like connect with anybody else's energy right now. So it's this feeling of trusting your intuition, trusting like do not ignore the red flags and do not feel like you're a bad person if you pay attention to the red flags. You don't always have to confront somebody when you see behavior you don't like. You can just make more distance between yourself and that person. And it feels like this is a really important lesson for you to learn in 2024, to learn to like really trust yourself and trust your own intuition and your own boundaries, because it's important in this relationship because it's a lesson for you to learn and embrace for relationships that are more substantial and important. So that's what seems to be the most important for you. Like 2020 for you, 2024 for you, the big focus and lesson for you is not because I feel like financial is pretty stable and set. Um, and like the main focus feels like learning the lessons in relationships that aren't romantic, that are maybe not as important and deep, and learning for you to trust your intuition and set healthy boundaries and do so without feeling like I'm mean or bad or terrible if I do it this way. So trusting your intuition in personal relationships. Okay. Uh so I think I asked what there was one other person if Flo was here or whatever wants to ask. Uh Regine asked for clarification. That's fine. Go ahead. You're welcome, Mahela. Shatha, I spent so much time saying do not delete your stuff, and here you are. Just rude. Come on now. Flo, if you want to ask a quick question, go for it. I feel like yes. But of course, like the skeptic in me is like, are you sure about that? I also feel like you're going to be taking it a little bit slower than you realize. And I think because of the circumstances around you with your sisters will make you be a little bit more okay with being slower. Thank you, Julia. I feel like so Flo, I'm going to answer yours, then I'll kind of go back up. Okay. So Ashley, you can ask one more question. Um, McKeegan, you can ask one more question. And I think that's all that asked for our second one. And Devry, I think Devry wanted one if you're still here. Okay. Flo, I do see you getting a permanent position, but I don't feel like it's with where you're at now. So I feel like I'm either I feel like there's an extension of where you're at now and then finding it like so but not like a full like it might be for like a 4-week extension or you get the extension of like 3 months, something short term, but finding somewhere who's really hiring for permanent and like within the next 2 months. So it's like I feel like you finish this so like within okay, wait, let me put this. So say my contract goes through because I'm trying to give you time frames to understand it to like apply it to exact time frames for you. So say my current contract goes through the end of January. I feel like I have that, but somewhere in that time they offer you an extension, but not a permanent. I take that, but during that extension period, that first month of that extension period, like probably maybe week 3 in, I find a job that's wanting to hire me permanently, and that's where I end up at. Devery, can you just rewrite it so I don't have to I'm getting a little um okay. KK. Oh, Debbie wrote, I love the processor job I have now, but the pay still isn't enough. Will I get better paying job in this coming year? Yes, April. Like April time is where I feel like. So I don't know if that I'm going to say this really clear. I don't know if that pay is because of a pay increase of where you're at or if it's a new addition kind of thing. But I feel like coming up. They're showing me like 2020 for you is like steps up. So it's not like a big leap, but I feel like I'm stepping up, I'm moving up in 2024. It's expiring on January 17th. It's neither here nor there. So it's like if it were the end of like, so I'm just trying to tell you like how to figure out the time frames and where I'm at. It's like, so say it's expiring on January 17th, they offer me like maybe, in the next week or two, an extension. And then like within that extension period, within like the first month, I find this other permanent job. So I feel like you're still looking at other stuff. Ashley, his thoughts of you. Okay. So Michael, I would lean towards being, I know I'm not, I know his, that's not exactly how you pronounce his name, but he's a very selfish man. And so he doesn't really think about you in terms of, it's like sort of like, what can I get for her? So it's not like so it's like, that's why I feel like when he comes in, it's coming in like in the 6 month period of like, he needs something. He's feeling lonely. Um, it's not in terms of like, she's so amazing. I wish I was with her. He's not good enough for you. You're welcome, Devry. Advice on manifest to a better job and more efficient process to my love life being okay. The lack of your love life is really more of your energy of being like, I'm not going to get anything unless it's the right one. So understand then if I'm only going to allow in somebody who's not the right one or who's the right one, their time, like the timing is not just about your being ready, it's about their being ready. So they may be in a relationship, so they may have to go through something in order to learn something in order to come into a relationship with you. So if you're more open, you open your energy up, it allows for more in. So it's like, that's why I feel like by the end of the year you're like kind of dipping your toe in, manifesting a job that you want. So it's like, show me how easy it is to find a job that has X, Y, and Z criteria. And there's a smooth transition from this job to the next job. Um, that kind of thing. The show me thing works, or why was it so easy for that to happen? Why was it so easy for that to open up? I actually feel like the job that you're going to move into is they haven't opened the position up yet, meaning they have to create a position for this. And so like when you're moving into this job, it's like they haven't done that before. So they're just trying to um like you sort of get to set the pace or whatever, so to speak. You're welcome, Ashley. Um, so there's a combination. So that it feels like corporate, it's weird. Do you work with computers like programming or something like that? Because it might be a business that does computer stuff, but it's like I feel like there's something a marketing edge to it, but there's also something with medical to it too. It's weird. Um, you're very welcome. Um, so it's like so maybe they do some sort of software holding or something like that, or holding cloud information. I don't know, whatever. And they have contracts with medical companies and contracts with, or I don't know. There's some marketing aspect to it too. It's a weird thing. It's like whatever it is, it's like, so I'm saying it this way because I'm going to tell you this story so that you understand. Like sometimes I don't get things in a straight thing. So I had a friend who did corporate marketing and she did contract work, whatever. She was a consultant at a high level for businesses. And she was ending a contract was ending. And she said, like, what do you see me doing? And I was like, are you changing fields? Because I keep seeing you walking up and down the aisles of a preschool. And she was like, no way. Well, she ended up taking a job doing the marketing for a very large Montessori preschool change. I mean, I guess they did, first year of kindergarten, something like that. But point being, like, I wasn't wrong about the preschool thing. It was just I didn't understand exactly how it fit in. You work as a data researcher. So it might be a company that pulls data and they have large accounts with with hospitals and large accounts with like marketing people. Okay. I got Regine's, I got Flo's, I got Devries. That makes sense. I appreciate no problem. I got okay. Um, you're very welcome. Okay, I think okay, KK, what's your question? And then Sarah, I see you here. Welcome. I'll answer. Yes, you can ask 3. Oh, wrong KK. Okay, wait a second. No, KK, you can't. The second KK, that's not my moderator. So my moderator, what's your question? If you have time, any insights on what I should do to improve my immune system and or my back pain? Um, look up. Okay, so I don't know if you've done these. So it's like I felt immediately like look up L-glutamine. It feels like your immune system, like really the part you need to look at is your gut health. I feel like a leaky gut there still. Um, so L-glutamine, I feel like cutting wheat out will really help you. And then your back pain, I actually feel like I feel like this is your lower lumbar area, but I'm also feeling right between my scapula here. I don't know if that makes sense. Like just tight, that just feels like muscle spasms to me there. And then and at my lower lumbar area, I'm feeling really tight, like almost like this might be a psoas, like a tight psoas muscle. So if you look at like somatic psoas release, like looking up for videos on how to do that. And then also on top of that, doing yoga, but like do something like Yoga by Adriene, where she's really good about saying, like, don't push too far. Because it feels like doing that, like, and then also a little bit of doing Pilates, but like more a gentle Pilates. And I feel like this is because so the yoga feels like it just feels like really kind of realigning and same thing with the Pilates. It feels like needing to strengthen like the smaller muscles um everywhere to help support the larger muscles, right? I actually feel like your larger muscles are strong. I just feel like the littler ones need to be more refined. And then also body mechanics for you. So really paying attention to like go back to the basics when you're doing a workout. You see a little spider. Um, go back to the basics and sorry, just had a thought about something because I put in these ultrasonic things in the rooms because of this mouse infestation. And I'm like, you shouldn't be in here, Mr. Spider. Okay, sorry. So I'm hoping that will help with spiders. Anyway, they're supposed to get rid of like mice and insects. Anyway, sorry, distracted. So it feels like going, like I said, I went back to the mechanics of it and like really paying out. Like I started I think I started when I first started doing them. The first couple workouts, I did no weight just to pay attention to body mechanics. So it feels like going back to the basics will help with that. I don't feel like there's a major injury. Like I don't feel like a disc issue or anything like that. It just feels like um, misalignment more due to like the muscles tightness and things. Yes to both. Oh, to where your back is hurting. Okay. KK, I'm not going to do all 3 questions. I will give you 1 because I'm at the end. The list is closed. I've been on here for over 2 hours. I've been on here almost 3 hours. So, I'll give you 1. Okay. And also, I don't know if you're already doing KK the methylated folate. But look at that, because that's huge with gut. Okay, Sarah, are you still here? I feel like initially you're going to self-publish with your book. However, you're taking that. Okay. However, um, I also feel like you're going to need an editor. So maybe go on something like Fiverr and get an editor, because it's the sense of like you're not doing it totally alone. Um, but you're are doing it alone. I also feel like being really open to the editor and being really open to what they're saying, because and it may not be, you may end up with two. So you may start with one person and just not vibing with them, and then the second person you end up sticking with. So it's like you might just do like give them a chapter and see how it feels, and it feels like it's not a good fit communication wise, and then ending up with the second person. But I do feel like, and then here's the other caveat, is really getting into be comfortable to being seen and being like, here's my book, here it is, and like sharing with that on social media to kind of like get it going. I don't know if the spider is happy in here. Maybe those things are working, because it is like all moving all over the place. Okay. I don't know if you're staying, but that's what I have. Will I end up moving to the USA? Hang on. I just have to type a letter because it gets hidden behind the heart. I don't feel soon. It feels like within the next 6 years you're moving to the US. You've been to 2 editors. You're welcome. Yeah. So it feels like the second one is the one I like. And then, but then I feel like you're self-publishing after using the editor. I don't feel like it will always be that way. I feel like down the road, you'll have a literary agent and all of that stuff. So it'll be more of a team, but it feels like initially that's where you're going with it. Yeah. Okay. So KK, second KK, non-moderator KK. I feel like you'll be, it feels like 6 years, and it feels like, and I'm going to say this because there's a lot of stuff happening within the United States. And it feels like that's when it becomes easier for you, not easier, but everything falls into line for you to be able to come over here. Okay. All right, everybody. So if you're still here, thank you for joining. Thank you again for all of your support for through the year. For those of you that have never come before and you're just getting your readings, or you haven't purchased, please stay subscribed and come back and purchase a reading, because again, 30% I donate to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. And because of the people that come and trust in me and believe in me and are also willing to invest in me and themselves energetically, we were able to donate $1,412 to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, which provided over 4,000 meals to families and people here in the New Jersey area. So thank you again. Happiest New Year, and I will see you soon after the new year. I've got your manifestation muscle juices flowing. Yay. That happened. Like, I got a big boot after this like mouse thing where I was like, oh, I can manifest so much. So like I'm excited about it right now too. You're welcome. It does take, you know what? I think I've been doing this so long. I've been doing this professionally since 2008. I've gotten used to like kind of doing the much, but I am, it's time that I can be other places. So I appreciate people being patient and hanging out and all of that. So it is a lot of money. It's a lot of meals. And so it means a lot. So I really do appreciate everybody who's showing up on a regular and doing that. And there are like, when I had we did a thing with my daughter's Girl Scout troop. I'm the leader of it. Went and filled bags of food to provide bags for the families. And there's like 250 within my town that come and pick up food. And the woman was telling me, she's like, in September and October, we're really low. And she's like, to turn people away is heartbreaking. And when I'm telling you we're filling up bags, it's not like they're getting high end stuff. They're getting like a thing of pasta, a thing of sauce, a thing of, beans and vegetables, like one can. And it's not like mass amounts of food. It's, it's not a ton, but it's something. So it matters. It matters to those people. Anyway, so happy New Year. Do some great affirmations, send out, the things that you want to let go of, just because, and don't worry about New Year's resolutions. Let stuff fall away on its own when it's supposed to, and do things for yourself because you're worth it and you deserve it. All right, have a good one.